What's up, guys? WWDC 2024, first time at Apple Park, and it's all about Apple Intelligence. What is it exactly? What does it mean? How much you're going to use it versus ChatGPT 4.0? Let's talk about that, and plus the other features that were announced right here at WWDC 2024. All right, guys, before I kick things off, big thanks to Apple for sending me out here. With that said, my thoughts and my thoughts only. Now, of course, the big thing talking about today is Apple Intelligence. This is Apple's AI, their introduction, so to speak, even though they've been talking about having AI in their, the operating systems, in their phones, et cetera, for years. This is the first time they're really getting into talking about it a lot more. And over the past few days, why I didn't want to record a video initially was there is a lot to dissect, a lot of information out there that they went through in terms of what it means to the user and how it competes to the other AI or applications out there, so to speak. Google Gemini, Copilot from Microsoft, ChatGPT 4.0, respectively. And to get into this, because I think this is going to be the hot topic for a lot of people, how would I categorize Apple Intelligence? I would call it a super assistant. It's designed to help you with your device and really help you navigate your device with some attributes that will go outside, so to speak. But for the most part, it's really to work with the apps that Apple's developed with the iPhone, Mac, and the iPad, respectively. But for the most part, that's what it's about. When you want to go above and beyond that, that's where ChatGPT 4.0 will come into play. So if you want to ask more intricate questions that are going to deal with information that may not be on device, such as, that's why Apple Intelligence is all about on device, that's where this comes into play. And I think for a lot of people out there that are new to AI, mainly the things they want to do is correct their spelling, make sure the paragraphs in their emails are correct or better structured. Find some information, how to navigate on a phone, work with some of the images they have there, create some Genmojis that they call them, these kind of creative emojis, so to speak. They want to do simple things. Now, for the more tech advanced people, they're going to really want to push AI to its limits. And that's where ChatGPT 4.0 comes into play with OpenAI versus what Apple's doing. So Apple's sort of simplifying AI for the rest of us out there. And one of the great things, the benefits is to this, and I know this personally because I use a lot of the AI applications from other companies, is you don't have to pay extra for it. Case in point, when Google launched Gemini for Gmail and Docs, et cetera, you have to have a business account, you have to have workspace, you have a lot of things in play, and you have to pay for it on top of it. Same with Copilot. You want to use it with Microsoft Word, Outlook, et cetera. You have to pay additional on top of your Microsoft 365 subscription. With Apple, it's built in. Now, again, it's all on device. It's all about privacy. And that's one of the things that we were talking about. And there is going to be some questions in regard to this. Is the privacy thing too much? Or is it just enough? And that's something that we will not know until we get it into our hands. Right now, the betas do not have it available. We'll only get it in the fall time. But you know what? A lot of people that are worried about their information getting out there onto the web, especially when it does come to AI and it's just siphoning information and pulling things to and fro, this is going to be the platform that you probably would want to navigate towards versus not having it. And especially when it comes into photos. Now that we're hearing a lot of things with Adobe right now, and as someone who does a lot of photography videos, as you know, on this channel, there is a lot of pushback on that. And I think Apple's going to protect photographers, especially with the photos, etc., on the devices, Mac, respectively, iPhone, iPad. So I think you're going to be a little bit okay in that way. But again, if you want to put that out there on Adobe's platform, it's up to you. But on device, it's going to be protected. Anyway, that's sort of how I look at Apple Intelligence as a whole. But I'm excited to play with it a lot more. Let's talk about some of the other features out there. iOS 18, some big updates. Obviously, there's the visual updates to it, which are kind of cool. We've seen that on other devices out there in the past, but Apple's done it into a much more intuitive way. But I like the fact that they're sort of simplifying the OS a little bit more, making it a lot more intuitive, especially in the Photos app. I take thousands and thousands of photos. For me to categorize and make it much more easier for me to access those photos in a much more organized fashion is a godsend to me, because I have about 40,000 photos on my phone right now. And a lot of them I like to edit on my iPad from the camera tests that I do. And to have it more synchronized and easier to navigate is a blessing. Also, I like the fact that you're adding a little bit more AI features into it. You can, simplify your web pages. You can get to the information of finding addresses a lot easier than before if you're looking up a location. And this is part of the AI that's built into the phone, so to speak. It's always kind of been there, but Apple's made it a lot more easier to understand and to use. And you're getting a lot of that into iPadOS 18. Now, we saw the launch of the M4 iPad Pro about a month or so ago in Battersea in the UK, which I was there. It was an awesome experience. And I think a lot of us were expecting there to be a bigger update to iPadOS, especially with an M4 chipset. How are they going to push this a lot more? We didn't necessarily get that, but we are seeing some of the attributes that with AI coming into play, the power that can come into it with Procreate and the different apps, and how the M4 can take advantage of these things. And obviously when AI comes into it, or Apple Intelligence, we're going to see that processing power come into play a lot more than I think we're seeing it today. So again, we're here at WWDC. A lot of what we've experienced are betas, early betas, but it is exciting. And it's exciting to see where these M4 chips go for, especially the M chips as a whole. And I think the iPad is going to be a phenomenal creator's tool, especially when all this gets out there into the wild. It's going to be an awesome system. Hopefully third-party developers push this further, take advantage of these tools. Adobe, we're talking about you, because Photoshop, Lightroom, there needs to be some updates. It's been a long time. Subject detection, generative fill, we need to get those things into play a lot more with this to match what we have on the desktop to fully take advantage of this M4 chipset. So hopefully that happens as well. Now, let's talk about Mac OS Sequoia. This is more of a minor update. We've got iPhone mirroring, which I think a lot of people are going to enjoy, that you can navigate your phone on your desktop now. This is going to be great for social media posting. You can edit your photo in Photoshop, Capture One, Lightroom, and just drag it onto your phone, post it right away. Type up your captions, drop it into TikTok and Instagram or what have you. It's going to make that synchronization between the phone and the desktop a lot simpler for creatives out there. I'm excited to see that, especially with videos as well. So that's one of the bigger things. And of course, we've got some of the other attributes that we saw in iOS 18 on the iPad and on the phone coming into Mac OS Sequoia. But for the most part, I think the iPhone mirroring will be the one feature that most people will use the most. And obviously, it looks a little bit simpler, a little bit cleaner. The design is awesome. The animations are fantastic. But that's going to be some of the big things out there. But overall at WWDC, my takeaway was this. Apple Park, absolutely amazing. The people that work here are phenomenal. The talent that is in this area is unparalleled. Apple Vision Pro was unbelievable. I mean, I've seen it. I watched a lot of reviews. And, I know a lot of reviewers out there want to be critical for the sake of being critical. But this device is beyond that. This device is a magical device that will change the way that we just consume content. As someone who, I host a lot of events outside of what I do here on YouTube, right? I'd host to hundreds and thousands of people on stages. The fact that I can actually replicate that scenario and practice my scripts in a theater setting with Vision Pro on changes the way that my workflow happens. Then if I want to edit on Photoshop and Lightroom, and I want to do editing on Final Cut or Resolve, I can have these windows open with my Mac connected to it, and I can see these things in a beautiful resolution and take advantage of that, all with Vision Pro. There's so many things that this can do that it goes beyond just media consumption, which everybody talks about. And, people say, well, the field of vision is small. No, it's not. It's not small. Just, you see so much around you. So I would say we're going to take it through its paces, especially in the coming weeks. I will tell you, my first impressions is I'm blown away by this technology. I had Google Glass back in the day. That was kind of like the Terminator kind of vibe with the whole thing on it with the little piece of glass there. That was kind of an interesting way of getting into a wearable device. This takes it to a whole different level. It's phenomenal. Anyway, with that said, I've had an amazing time here at WWDC 2024, and I'm happy that Apple's getting into the whole AI thing. I'm happy to see what they're doing with all their products and this evolution. And it's a big step forward. It's a huge step forward. And there's going to be a lot more questions and answers at the beginning of it, and it's going to take some time for this to mature. But I do appreciate, as I mentioned earlier, the simplicity behind it, the fact that Apple is including it into their OSs without having to pay extra for it. I do like the privacy features. I think that that's going to give a lot more people confidence to dive into AI, because AI is not going to replace us, but those who understand AI and know how to maximize its potential will be the ones that carry over into the workforce into the future for younger people and for older people alike. And Apple's kind of giving you a guide, a headway into that without scaring you. And because I talk to a lot of people who are scared of AI, and this is a great way to get introduced to it without being fearful. Anyway, guys, those are my quick thoughts on this. More videos coming on all these applications, these operating systems, and these devices. Just a little bit of a WWDC 2024 wrap up. And once again, it's been an amazing experience. Thank you, Apple. And with that, guys, subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, hit that like button. And yeah, I'll chat to you guys very, very soon. Take care.